Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I do have a question for you. Do you think we are alone? I've been always asking myself this question. What if we're not actually alone in this universe? Before looking for an answer to that question, let us just have a look at our bodies. An adult human being contains more than 60 billion cells in his body. Imagine taking one cell out of the other 60 billion, in which one of the components is asking the other, do you think life exists in other cells? And the answer is, no. Are you crazy? Now, that's exactly how we think about the universe and the possibilities of the existence of life outside Earth. I am Nizar Al-Maqaleh, a passionate 22-year-old person about space, and I've been always so keen to learn as much information as I can about the planets, stars, universe, anything related. It all started when I was a little kid at grade 6. We finished the midterm exams, and I was sad I got the second position, so I scored a 99. I wasn't happy about it. My colleague was a girl who scored 100, got the first position. So we were in the Arabic class. The teacher was discussing our future plans and careers with us, so when it was my turn, hey Nizar, what you want to be in the future? I thought for a while. I was telling myself, my answer has to be mind-blowing. I should blow everybody's mind, especially that girl over there. Okay. I said with complete innocence, أنا أشتي أكون عالم فلك. I want to be an astronomer. I had no idea what that word meant. I just liked how it sounded. I was lucky nobody asked me anything about it that day. And the same day I went home. I got into our library. I was looking for any book that could have any information just in case I got asked about the word. I found a book. It's called Space Encyclopedia. It explains basic and fundamental information about space, and started reading. After a few minutes, I got interested in the book. And for the first time in my life, I started reading about space. It was awkward how a 12-year-old kid is interested in space and astronomy rather than playing soccer or video games with his friends and family. Well, I did. I had fun with my friends. But deep down in my heart, I felt my passion was sparked. I'm becoming an astronaut. And people started saying, are you crazy? Why don't you find yourself something better? Or, you think space as a career would make a living for you in the future? Unfortunately, people think of physical and tangible forms of return. They never look at the pleasure, at the pride you feel when you learn or read something you're passionate about. For me, the enchantment I feel when I read or learn anything about space is overwhelming. I ignored the negative feedbacks and focused only on the knowledge I gained in my mind and the passion and love felt in my heart. 3 years later, I couldn't resist the excitement inside me, so I decided to create my own website, Nizar's blog. On December 24th, 2009, I created my blog. I was so passionate about it. I wanted to have a website from which I can share information about space with everybody around the world. The beginning was so hard. People said, who's got time to read about space on your blog? Why don't you find something more useful? I didn't give a damn. I started working on it. I learned how to use it step by step. Each and every day I learned a new thing, how to add pictures, photos, media, how to modify the settings. I started that blog from the bottom. The first 2 visitors of my website were 2 of my classmates in grade 10, whom I forced to do. They came the next day. They said, it was useless, we didn't benefit from it, nobody's going to visit your blog ever, why don't you just delete it? I said, alright, we'll check that later. I learned how to modify a few settings and options in that website, a day after another. 1 year later, I was at grade 11. I was having a discussion with the English section coordinator who said, alright, you look so excited and enthusiastic about your blog. How about we make an advertisement for you at school? I couldn't believe it. I was telling myself, wow, finally my blog will be famous. Everybody will check it out. I found a picture, modified it, added my name, email, my class back then, the link to my website, and showed it to the coordinator. He was so impressed, and it was posted all over the school. I still remember how I was feeling that day. 1 year later, WordPress, the country that hosts my blog, added a feature by which I can know from what countries people visit my website. Back then, there were 16. I couldn't believe it. I showed that to my friends and family. They were the same guys who said, nobody's going to check out your blog, and they were impressed and surprised. In the same period of time, I added 2 games, one of which is called Space Race Blast Off, and the other one is called Rocket Science 101. This game helps you how to create your own space shuttle and fly it to space. Graduated from high school, September 2012. I scored 93.62 and I thought I'm good to go. I was telling myself I should get a scholarship. I was so desperate to travel and study astronomy. I couldn't think of any other thing as an option. Each and every day, I was dreaming to be an astronaut. I felt it in my blood. I couldn't resist the idea that one day I'll be standing outside Earth watching it as small as a basketball and say, that's home over there. That's everybody I knew, and that's everybody I'll ever get to know. I prepared for TOEFL. Took me a few months and thought I'm good to go. I applied for many scholarships. I was wondering why I didn't get accepted in any of them. But I knew God knows what suits me most. I've always put in my mind that something great is always about to happen when it's meant to happen. It's that simple. One day, out of sudden, I got a chance to get a scholarship to Germany, and the only required thing was to study German. I didn't hesitate. I studied German, finished the German language at the German house, finished all the available courses in Yemen, scoring the first position in all of them, and my scores were the highest of the history of that institute of all time. I was so prosperous and proud. I was telling myself, I'm getting the scholarship. I got admission from 2 different recognized in Germany and 3 different language institutes and went to the office. Before getting to the office, I was telling myself, well, I'm ready. I'm getting the scholarship. I got into the office and I was looking at the employer who had a frown face and was like, scholarships are closed and no more available. All right, I smiled. I knew I'll overcome this. I looked at the bright side. I've learned a new language besides my Arabic, English, and basic French. After almost 2 years spent getting ready for scholarships, not getting accepted in any of them, I decided that I should not waste more time. I applied to the Faculty of Engineering at Sanaa University, and I was so passionate about studying at the Mechatronics Engineering Department. Only 40 seats are allocated for Mechatronics out of 330 students who are to be admitted to the faculty. In my year, June 2014, I applied with 6,700 other students, and we were tested in mathematics, physics, and English. I scored the 8th in general, and the 2nd among those who were nominated for Mechatronics. I felt passionate, more than ever, and more determined to reach my goal. In August 2014, I inaugurated 11 new pages in my blog, one of which discusses the solar system, each and every component of the solar system, planets, dwarf planets, asteroids, asteroid belts, in details. Other pages discuss the scientific terms used in the blog and explained them. I spent lots of hours on those pages. I modified for the first time slideshows, personal messages, added some features, modified the background, the appearance, the entire platform. By now, people visit my country from 80 different countries around the world. I was lucky to attend a TOT program a few months later. That's Training of Trainers program. That's kind of program you attend and they teach you how to talk about any topic in front of an audience. They also give you skills you need on the stage, body language, etc. I decided to talk about space. And my colleagues back then didn't like the idea. They felt it's boring. And every time I got on the stage and talked about space, everybody was sleeping, leaving out. A few days later, just a few days, I was hearing, wow, oh my God, all over the place while I was talking about the solar system in one of the lectures. As soon as I finished, I was asking myself, why wouldn't I perform an actual lecture about space in front of a real audience? And I did. On August 27th, 2015, I performed my first lecture about space, the theory of everything, and on that same day, I celebrated my 21st birthday as well. During preparations for that lecture, friends and family, I got some neighbors who said, are you crazy? Seriously, it's war. Airstrikes are hitting all over the country. You want to have a lecture? Who's going to attend? You're wasting your money, time, and effort. I defeated those challenges and obstacles. I only followed my passion. The event was successfully held on the due date, and it was attended by over 380 people who were impressed and surprised. On that same day, I received hundreds of messages and positive feedbacks and support from many people who were impressed and inspired. That gave me huge support to continue pursuing my passion. 4 months later, I performed my second lecture about space to the universe and beyond, and it was an amazing 2-day lecture attended by over 300 people. Now, you might wonder or question, what made me survive all what I've been through? Simple. Role models make you stronger. Every time I feel weak or devastated, I think of Stephen Hawking. He simply had no reason to continue pursuing his dreams, and yet he did. He's now the most brilliant physicist in the world. Every time I look at him, I see that I have no excuse not to continue reaching my goal, not to continue fighting. I see my obstacles and challenges to be nothing compared to his. He gives me strength when I'm weak, guides me when I'm lost, inspires and motivates me when I'm down. Being halfway on my road, I've been enjoying my journey so far, each and every stage of it. A few years from now, I see myself the first Yemeni astronaut. I'll do all what it takes to reach my goal. My message to you all is, enjoy your journey before waiting to enjoy your destination. Thank you.